Hi, I'm Jerry from Attic Treasures in Occoquan, Virginia, and this month's Sew Creative project is this wonderful St. Patrick's Day coaster. It's a little four-leaf clover coaster and is perfect for your St. Patrick's Day party. And it's wonderful because it's just the right size to put a bottle of Guinness on top of it. And it fits in a 4x4 embroidery hoop. So let's get started. For this project, you're going to need your 4x4 hoop and a dissolve-away mesh stabilizer and a piece of linen. I just used a white piece of linen, but you could use any color. And I have put Terreal Magic on it so that it'll be stiffer. Anytime I'm embroidering on a woven fabric, I like to use the Terreal Magic. If you don't have Terreal Magic available to you in your area, then I would spray starch it with at least 6 light layers of spray starch to make it stiffer. You'll find you have less puckering of your design because it adds stability. And I'm just going to hoop that and then go to the machine. Okay, I have loaded my design into my PES file into the machine. And I have brought up the coaster. It's going to fit in a 4x4 hoop. And so the first color I'm going to stitch is going to be a gold metallic. It's going to do the inside edge or the inside decorative stitch of the coaster. Now, in order to stitch with metallic thread, there's a few things I need to do to have success with metallic thread. First of all, I need to slow down my machine to 350 stitches per minute. It normally will stitch at 1,000 stitches per minute, but I need to slow it down. And the reason is that metallic thread is very stretchy, so you need to give it that little bit of extra time in order to settle into a stitch so that it won't stretch so much. The other thing you need to do is I want to change my tension. Normal tension on this is 4.0. I'm going to change this for this machine. I'm going to change it down to 3.2. You may have to set your tension as low as 2.0 in order to get a good stitch out of metallic thread so that it won't constantly fray and break. The other thing is I want to use a vertical spool pin. In other words, I want to have it to come up. I want it to come off this spool with as little pressure as possible. So therefore, I'm going to use that vertical spool pin. The other thing is you're going to want to use either a metallic size 14 needle or use a top stitch needle. I like to use a top stitch 14 for metallic threads. Okay, so everything is ready to go. So I'm just going to lower my presser foot and stitch. Now you can expect metallic thread to break a little more often than regular polyester or rayon thread, but it is so beautiful it's worth the effort. Okay, I'll let this stitch off camera. This will take a little while. Okay, I'm going to finish stitching the gold frame in the inside of the coaster. So now I'm switching to regular polyester thread. And for this, I now need to return the tensions back to 4.0. And I need to return the speed back to 1,000. Okay, now it's going to stitch the inner shamrock. I'm using green thread. Okay, the center of the shamrock, or actually this is a good old-fashioned four-leaf clover. And now it's going to do the edging. So this is going to set your cut line for your scalloped edge. You have two different ways you can handle the scallops on this coaster. One way is to use this stitching line as to be able to cut the outside of your fabric and do it like a reverse applique, which is what I'm going to do now. Your other option is to just let it finish stitching and then use fiber etch along the outside edge of the scallop to dissolve away the cotton fabric. So I'm going to do this as an applique. So what I'm going to do is just reach up underneath here and get a little snip, and I'm going to cut away using a curved set of scissors. Get a good snip in here. I don't want to cut the stabilizer underneath, and this is a little bit long and tedious to do it this way. Okay, I have cut all the way around the edge of the scallop, leaving the stabilizer, and I'm going to finish the scallops here. But what I want to do before that is I want to wind a bobbin with the same color thread that I have in the needle, which is green. And then the last color stop will finish off the edge of the scallops. And you can see it's cut away so that the stitching won't catch the edge of the fabric. Okay, and then for my presser foot, and it should finish off the edge. And both sides will be, the edges will be nice and clean. See, first it seals in the edges. You see that? And again, I'll let that stitch off camera because this can take, about 10 minutes. Actually, it takes 7 minutes to do this. Okay, it's all finished, and I'm going to remove the hoop from the machine. I'm probably going to cut this out real close. A lot of times it's easier to cut it out while it's still in the hoop. And then just run it under cold water rather quickly, because I would like it to, for the starch to stay in the fabric. So if you dip it really quick in water, just enough to get this to dissolve, then it'll leave the starch in the fabric and have a nice stiff coaster. And the back actually doesn't look bad either. So I'm going to clip these extra little threads out of here. Okay, and all finished. Okay, I'm going to show you how to remove the fabric from the outside of the coaster using this fiber etch. And you can order it line, or you can get it at the store at Attic Treasures in Occoquan, Virginia. Okay, so what you do, you want to make sure that you've protected your surface with a piece of plastic. Whatever you do, do not use this on top of a piece of like a wooden table, because this will eat away at plant fibers, and wood is definitely a plant. So I protected my table with just a Ziploc bag, nothing, or freezer paper, whatever. It comes in a tube and it's like a gel. You have to use this on a natural plant fiber type of fiber, such as cotton, linen, and rayon. Because remember, rayon is made up of wood pulp. So therefore, you just cut the tip off the fiber etch. You also have to make sure you have to use polyester thread, and just apply this, just a small bead around the edge, outside edge of the scallop. I'll just do a little bit of it on camera. And then you want to let it dry. So you want to let it dry thoroughly. So you see it's right at the edge, just a small bead. And then let it dry either naturally or you can force dry it with a hair dryer. Okay, I'm going to let this dry and I'll be back in about an hour or so. Okay, now I have let this fiber etch dry, and I am going to put it on a protective surface, something that I don't care if it gets messed up. I'm going to set my iron to a wool setting, and I'm just going to put this on here, and it will slightly turn brown. When it starts to turn brown, don't make it turn black, but then it's ready to you'll know it's ready because it will peel right off. Probably could use a little more heat. Just a little bit more. Okay. And this all just flakes right off. It peels off. And just take your fingernail and scratch the remainder of it away. Or a brush or something. I'll just do this one side. Now this has to be dry, because if the fiber etch isn't dry, it's not going to work. Okay, and then see where I pulled it away? It looks gorgeous. It's a lot easier than doing all that clipping to get that applique out. Okay? Till next month, keep warm because it's still winter. Bye.